This song could single-handedly get me pulled over for speeding. I would say this bridge is like a work of art. This might be very controversial, and I'm ready for the backlash from this. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Nina. If you're new here, welcome. So happy that you're here, and if you're not new, thanks for coming back. Today I wanted to take a little break from guitar tutorials to do something a little different. I put out a poll last week of a bunch of different ideas for Taylor Swift content, and this is the one you guys overwhelmingly chose. So today I will be ranking Taylor Swift's top 13 bridges, and you can guess why I chose 13. First, because 10 was not enough for me to fit all my favorite ones in there, and second of all, if you're a Swiftie, you would know why. Now, this was no easy feat by any means, but I have spent like 3 hours taking a ton of notes. For those of you who might not know me, I'm Nina. I absolutely love Taylor Swift. I post so many guitar tutorials of all of her songs, and I have been a diehard Swiftie since, I don't know, 2011. And a quick disclaimer, these are just my opinions. There is no right answer to any of these. Many of you will disagree with me, I'm sure of it. Honestly, I welcome all opinions in the comments down below, but please be nice to me and everybody else's opinions. I posted a video like 7 months ago ranking Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriends, and the comments got heated. So just know this is all in good fun. I'm not looking to start a fight or anything, but this is just what I think. Okay, so I will be ranking these bridges by the following topics. So first we have lyrics and meaning, of course, and then as well as like metaphors, literary devices. I love all of that stuff because I have a degree in English. I just love Taylor Swift's poetic lyrics. Next is performance value, how Taylor Swift performs it live, how that enhances the bridge. Also my emotional reaction to it, because that plays a lot into my top 10. And lastly, my ability to scream it in my car and or dance to it. Yeah. I just know you guys are gonna have a lot to say in the comments. So coming in at number 13 on my list is Dancing with Our Hands Tied. Absolutely love this song just in general, but I didn't become absolutely obsessed with it until she played it live on the Reputation tour, and that completely changed the song for me, especially this bridge. The imagery of this bridge and the metaphor is just so good. So it goes, if I could dance with you again, I'd kiss you as the lights went out, swaying as the room burned down. Even when the world is literally ending, I would just be like so content with it. Literally, if the room was burning down, they would just be like swaying, dancing, while everything around them is just like burning. That is such a powerful image in my mind. Okay, lyrics get like a 10 out of 10 for me on this one. Performance value, I loved the acoustic version of this. It really added to it for me, which is why it made the list. But yes, love this song. I think that's all I have to say about it for now. Now coming in at number 12, we have August. It might just be because this song is still pretty new. It's been like, you know, only a year, but this gives me so much serotonin every time I hear this bridge. Oh my god. Not only does this song put me immediately in a better mood, but it like takes me away to like a seaside small town. It's the kind of song that just the production of it is so good in taking you away from reality. She really portrayed the character Augustine, whatever her name is. That character was portrayed so well in this bridge, and it really told the whole story just in this bridge. Okay, so we've got back when we were still changing for the better, wanting was enough. For me, it was enough. Like that part. She was the one hanging on to him, and anything he gave her was good enough for her, even if it wasn't that good. It definitely was not his best. I mean, he freaking made her wait behind a mall to get picked up. Like, that's sketchy. She totally took the back burner. He was like embarrassed of her. And then the line that says, I pulled up and said, get in the car. This really shows she was initiating this relationship happening. She was just kind of like taking what she could get. She was living for the hope of it all. Just the hope. And it's like, that was all it was. She was hoping to the grace of God that it would work out, even though she kind of knew deep down it was gonna be a long shot since she was kind of the side chick, obviously, in this triangle of Betty. The line that says, "You weren't mine to lose," straight to my heart. But anyways, wrapping up this song, Taylor Swift does a really good job of portraying that feeling of just like being really helpless in a relationship. Also, this song's screamability and danceability is like 13 out of 10. If you guys are on TikTok, there's like a little dance and I love that when it's like, "Cancel my plan just in case you call. Back when I was living for the hope of it all." You know that. Anyways, moving on. So now sitting at number 11, we have "Death by a Thousand Cuts." And I'm not sure if this is like a verse 2 or a bridge. I'm gonna call it a bridge because it just feels more like a bridge than a second verse because there is no second verse. This song could single-handedly get me pulled over for speeding on the freeway, 100%. This bridge, first of all, is so fun to sing. Me and my friends scream this bridge all the time, and it's kind of like a challenge. I love a good challenge of like memorizing, and it's like, my heart, my hips, my body. It doesn't matter how long I've known this song, I will probably still mess up the words because it's just like too much. Also, Taylor Swift's breath control is just like A+. The way she uses repetition in this bridge kind of contributes to the feeling of like anxiety, being overwhelmed. It's like a person kind of explaining to the person that hurt them, like listing out all these things that they did to them, like, "You did this, 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 my time, my wine, my spirit, my trust." You're just like laying it all out there. You're really just letting somebody have it, and by the end, you're just so out of breath that you just kind of like but it's okay. It's just death by a thousand little cuts. These are all the little cuts. She's listing them. Also, it's like she's telling the full story from beginning to end in just this bridge. Like, you get a taste of it in the verse and the chorus, but this is where we get into specifics, and it's like, "Oh, now I'm searching for signs in a haunted club." One of my favorite lines, "Paper cut sting, paper cut stain, sting, paper cut stings." Oh my god, do I not know the word? Oh yeah, okay. That's what I thought it was. Paper cut stings from our paper thin plans. So this guy, you just know that he wasn't following through. You know, paper is temporary. It can be torn, crumpled up. The plans they had together just were not very concrete. Rounding out with the same kind of vibes as August, "I gave you too much, but it wasn't enough." I love that juxtaposition. Anyways, also this song is so fun for me to play on guitar. If you guys want to learn this song, that's on my channel. I'll leave links in the description box if I've taught any of these songs if you are a guitar player and want to learn them. Moving on, this song, it's like not very well known. I mean, Swifties probably know this song, and early Taylor Swift country fans, but like new Taylor Swift fans probably have no idea this song exists, so I'm gonna shed some light on it because it deserves to be recognized. Very forgotten, very underrated, "Cold as You." This bridge is so freaking sad. With her like really young voice, you can feel the teenage heartbreak. It's palpable. So basically the bridge is like, "You never did give a damn thing, honey, but I cried for you, and I know you wouldn't have told nobody if I died for you." It's like so dramatic, and it's like, "I cried, I could have died for you." It perfectly describes like the teenage grieving process of heartbreak. It's like so extreme. Not that I would know since I did not have a boyfriend in high school at all, but I'm sure if I did, this is how it would be. It's like she's saying, "I would have given up everything." That line, "You wouldn't have told nobody if I died for you," that's a little intense. I remember hearing that and being like, wow, that's a lot. But like on a scale from 1 to 10, if someone said you wouldn't do anything if I died, that's like a negative 13,000 out of 10 right there. They really care about you less than dirt. And I think you can feel that in the way that she sings it. "Cold as You," man. It's a good song. You should check it out if you don't know it. Okay, moving up, we've got at number 9, "Cruel Summer." And I feel like you guys are gonna get mad this isn't higher, but it's just so hard. All of these for me are like so high up there. I really had a hard time like putting them ahead of each other. I feel like only like the top 3 are like actually set in the ranks, but we've got "Cruel Summer." When I heard this bridge, I was like, she did not. Oh my god, I will never skip this song if it comes on. Even if I'm not in the mood for it, it immediately changes my mood. I will literally put on a full freaking concert in my car. And especially this bridge. It is the catchiest, most clever bridge ever. And it explains so well how you're in this relationship that's very kind of push and pull. This is the breaking point. You're like crying in the back of your Uber coming home from the bar because you're like, I just want to be with this person. What is so hard about this? And you can defs feel that. We're just gonna go through some of my favorite lines. We've got, I don't want to keep secrets just to keep you. I love when she does a little play on words. It's like, keep secrets so I can keep you. Like, that's so clever. And at the very end where she says, for whatever it's worth, I love you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? Like, when I first heard that, that's a line you have to let sink in and be like, okay, what's she trying to say here? She just said, I love you. Why is that the worst thing you've ever heard? And it's because it's a cruel summer. It makes things complicated when it's like real feelings are involved now. So I just imagine this Taylor Swift running out of like the house into the street and she's screaming, like tears going down her face, I love you, ain't that the worst thing you've ever heard? And then Joe is standing there like just grinning because it's like, okay, yeah, this is where this is going. And the way she sings this part, you look so grinning like a devil, like literally a million out of 10 on the screaming in my car scale. It is a true tragedy that Loverfest was canceled because I'm sure hearing this live would cure all of my problems. Okay, moving on. We're gonna keep it going. Okay, we are at number 8. We have Come Back, Be Here. Another hidden gem, I think. I love this song and I cannot wait to hear it re-recorded on Taylor's version. But the first thing I wrote in my notes here is all caps, this is falling in love in the cruelest way. That is my favorite line of the whole song. That line, I don't know, it's like, you know, when you have a whole song and it's like, okay, what's one sentence that could explain this whole song? It's this one. It really is just like, you know, the song's about long distance and this person just keeps kind of taking off and not bringing you with them. How you navigate being in love. It's like, this is falling in love in the cruelest way because the person you're falling in love with is not even around. And then she's literally having a breakdown in this bridge, and so on the emotional reaction level, it's like through the roof. Definitely screaming this in my car, but like in a sad way. Driving through your neighborhood at night kind of way. Could be crying, maybe not. Maybe just like yelling it. And it's literally like, just freaking come back so I can stop having this breakdown right now. So I think for me, I think it's honestly a pretty simple, there's nothing too complicated going on with the words, but the emotional delivery of this song is like so high. But at the end of this bridge, it builds up so nicely, and I love a good lead in to the end chorus. And this is like the perfect bridge lead into the chorus where it's like, but you're in London in a breakdown cause it's not there that you're not around. When it's like, dun, dun, I didn't know if that makes sense, but yeah. And then it goes into the chorus like, this is when the feeling sinks in. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna sing the whole song for you. I'm literally battling the sun right now. It's going down, but I need to film this. I need to get through it. Okay, coming in at number 7, which I had a hard time with this one because I love this song, but based solely on the bridge, we are putting Enchanted at number 7. This hook in the bridge is literally everything. It's so good. So first we start out, this was the very first page, not where the storyline ends. You know, Enchanted is literally just about her making like eye contact with somebody across the room and being like, you know, just wonderstruck by somebody. Like, that literally happens to me on a daily basis. But it's basically her saying, this is all the emotions I'm holding back because I don't really want to act on this. It gives me self-sabotage vibes. I feel like a lot of people go through this, like me, when you were just like immediately somebody catches your eye, but it's almost like better to admire them from afar than do anything about it, because then if you don't, you still have that like magical like vision in your head and it doesn't become reality, because then there's no rejection, there's no like worry that if you pursue it, it won't work out. She takes herself out of the equation, she leaves. These are the words I held back as I was leaving too soon, before she could find out if it was anything. The second part where it's like, please don't be in love with someone else. She repeats that over and over again, almost like anxiously. Like the repetition is a huge thing when Taylor Swift is trying to convey being like overwhelmed or like having anxiety about something, and also like desperation. It's like, please don't be in love, please don't be in love. And she also ends the song with that second part of the bridge, and that's the thing you're left with, and it's like, oh, love that. But yeah, that's Enchanted. I feel like I am talking so much and just trying to get across everything that I want to say. Moving up, we've got at number 6, The Way I Loved You from Fearless. Now this song is basically in this position mostly because its performance value and my ability to just freaking scream this is like off the charts. Taylor Swift has put into words what so many of us can't, where it's like, this person is freaking perfect. Why can't I like them and not this other toxic person? But that you want it to be exciting, not so predictable. And I really like that when she's talking about the perfect guy, it's very robotic. It's like, he can't see the smile I'm faking. She's almost on the same note for that whole part. And my heart's not breaking. And then she switches and there's a little shift. And you were wild and crazy, just so frustrating, intoxicating, complicated. That part, it's like very hard-hitting words, rhymes consecutively after each other. It's funny because many people credit this song with like messing up their view of what a healthy relationship's supposed to be. It's like, oh, you've got this boring person that like opens your door. That's perfect. But then there's this guy and he's like screaming and fine and kissing in the rain, like, you know. But I feel like that's just how it is sometimes. Hopefully you get a little of both in the very end. You're probably not going to end up with either of those types of people. You need to find a happy medium. And that's why this one's number 6. Moving up the list, we got number 5. I decided to go with Champagne Problems. Now, this song could be higher for me. It's so hard when you have all of these great songs and you're like, oh, how is that one better than this one? Then this one is so good. Yeah, anyways, so this song absolutely wrecked me when I first heard it, especially when it gets to the bridge. Let me tell you, and I'm sure many Swifties relate because, oh, it's so spot on. I would say this bridge is like a work of art. Her ability to employ so many metaphorical, literary kind of devices, like it's like poetry. Saying something without saying it. She paints you a scene without giving specific details. You're supposed to infer about what's happening, but not actually explicitly say that. For example, she says, your Midas touch on the Chevy door. That means he's like opening up the door for her. November flush and your flannel cure. That means it's like a chilly November autumn day. Flannel cure means he gave her his like flannel shirt or jacket to keep her warm. That's something that you just infer, even though she could have said, I was really cold in November and you gave me your jacket. Instead of saying that, she says, November flush and your flannel cure. That's 5 words to explain like a literal whole scene. That is amazing to be so concise without losing any meaning. That's a true writer right there. I appreciate it. And then we go on and it says, this dorm was once a madhouse. I made a joke. Well, it's made for me now. So now you know there's like something mentally going on with the narrator girl. She would joke about her mental illness, but now it's not a joke anymore. My favorite line of this whole bridge, you know, where she goes, she would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's effed in the head. Oh, it's so good. She really explains well how kind of hard it is to love somebody that has a mental problem going on and how it always feels like it's their fault that it's so difficult. It's so sad at the end where it's like, you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up the tapestry I shred. You don't want me anyways. You'll find someone who's normal. You won't have to deal with my baggage anymore. Like, oh, it's a masterpiece of a bridge, I must say. The last note I have on here just says, this is so sad, which it is. But yeah, okay, we're just gonna move on now. Okay, coming in at number 4, we have Dear John. Oh boy, this song, you knew it was coming. This has to be on the list. It's definitely in my top, like, Swiftie Hall of Fame. The reason it gets ranked so high for me is because of the performance. Her performance of this song on the Speak Now tour is, like, absolutely iconic. So let's go through it a little bit. So we've got, you're an expert at sorry and keeping lines blurry. I love that line. Keeping lines blurry. So you keep her guessing. What is this? What's the intentions here. You're an expert at keeping her confused so that she stays, which is not good. That whole relationship, we all can agree that should have never happened in the first place, regardless of the fact that it gave us this beautiful song. It was so messed up for a 32-year-old to date a 19-year-old. Like, ugh, Taylor Swift's not even 32 yet. Ugh. And then we got all the girls that you've run dry have tired, lifeless eyes. So it's like she's just another one in this list of girls he's kind of like burnt out. When it gets to the end, this is where the shift happens and she's like, decides, I'm not gonna be a victim of this. I'm going to be shining like fireworks over your sad little town. She's gonna be better and bigger than him. The build-up is legendary. The part where she's like, you know, I'm shining like fireworks over, and there's that iconic picture, I'll put it here, where she just like that, and there's fireworks, and she's filled in the room of people that, you know, are there to see her. She's the one that won in this situation, although he was still a jerk for dating a 19-year-old. But yeah, dear John. Okay, we're getting into my top 3, and let me say, this was so hard to order these. This next song for number 3 is going to be You Are in Love, and this was my favorite song from 1989. Up until that point, it was literally one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. It is the most played song on my phone because I'd fall asleep to it like every night. But this bridge, no matter how many times I've heard it, gives me chills at the end of it every single time. And that's why it's so high, because of this like emotional reaction I have to this bridge. It explains a lot more about Taylor than you would think. As a person, as a writer, in her experience. She has spent her whole freaking life writing about love. What she thinks it is, how you get it, the aftermath. She's tried to put it into words so many different ways. And when she starts this bridge, she first like paints a little scene, and it's like you two are dancing in a snow globe round and round. It's like they're in their own little world. This is what she thinks love looks like from the outside. You're just like in your own little snow globe dancing around and around. And it's just such a simple image. And it's in that moment that she realizes why people lose their freaking minds like trying to find love and enduring pain and loss, because once you find it and it's that simple, it's like it must be worth it, right? It's kind of like her affirming herself, and it's like, this is why I've spent my whole life trying to put it into words. That line, I'm getting chills right now. Like, yes, this song. Until that point, I was like, oh my god, this is everything Taylor Swift has kind of written about. And it's not that like, oh, she automatically now knows what love is. Obviously, she didn't even meet Joe yet, but she just kind of was able to take a step back and look at love from the outside instead of just like trying to overanalyze it. So I just really love the simplicity of this song, this bridge, and just the scene that it creates, and then that line that really just gives you chills. I wouldn't scream this song out at all in my car, but I have definitely driven around during Christmas to look at the lights by myself and listen to this song, so yeah. Oh gosh, this might be very controversial, and I'm ready for the backlash from this. I'm sure everybody's gonna have their opinions. Number 2, I have ranked All Too Well, and I know what you're thinking. Nina, why isn't it number 1? This is the Swiftie anthem, like this is our thing, this is the best thing that Taylor Swift's ever written, masterpiece, like Hall of Fame, and it is. But I'll get to why. All Too Well for me is just like pure passion. When I think of the Red Album, I think of All Too Well, absolutely. This bridge is the climax of the song, and it's like that point of grief where you're just like screaming, angry, sad. You're just so worked up. Like, she is literally screaming in the song, and when she performs this, oh, the performance value absolutely gives this song that number 2 spot by itself, because it's just the way she went from performing it on the Red Tour, like being so sad and like screaming and crying, to the Rep Tour when she played it, and I was, oh my god, I was there when she played it at the Rep Tour, and I literally almost died. But the change from when it just brought her sadness to where it brings her joy, because that's a song that we just like love so much to be sad with, and it's just like turned into something really good. But yeah, it's the angry, sad stage of grief where you're just like breaking shit and screaming. You're just that mad. The play on words she has here where it's like, you call me up again just to break me like a promise. So she is equating this person breaking her heart like he broke his promises. And I like that double meaning there. And of course, the line casually cruel. So casually cruel. cruel. You were just so nonchalantly being an awful person. Then this ends and it's like coming down from being at that point where you're screaming, and it's like after you're done screaming, you're just sad and you're just sitting there in silence, like silent tears. And then she goes, the repetition of all too well really represents the come down of that crazy episode. After all that anger, you're just left with the sad. But yeah, all too well, that bridge is a complete shift, and I think this song really showed how much he grew as a songwriter. And I cannot wait for the 10-minute version of this song. Oh my god, I literally cannot believe we bullied her into giving us the 10-minute version of All Too Well. That's legendary. Maybe my opinions will change when we get that version. I'm sure it will wreck us just the same. Yeah, that's gonna be intense. Okay, so now I'm moving on to my top overall bridge that Taylor Swift has ever written, and that would be Last Kiss. This, I feel like, is a very underrated bridge. It's literally pure poetry and raw emotion, and I feel like the emotion that this bridge evokes is just, it's a lot. I feel like the way she wrote it is how every heartbroken person kind of feels after a very unexpected breakup. For one, at 4 minutes 26 seconds, I'm gonna just check that really quick. Yes. 4 minutes and 26 seconds, there's a breath, and you can tell that she is crying while trying to record this song, and it's hope the sun shines and it's a beautiful day. You know, when you're like, I feel that, where you're trying to talk and it's like you can't get a breath because you're so upset about something, like that's powerful. And she explains how after you break up with somebody, how you watch their life in pictures. Nowadays it's like you see them all over social media and you're like wondering how they are, you know, friends of friends. Like that's so real and relatable. I think my favorite line from this is, I hope the sun shines and it's a beautiful day and something reminds you you wish you had stayed. She hopes the best for this person, but she kind of just hopes that they still have regrets. Again, this bridge kind of pinpoints exactly what the whole song is about. That point where we're like, oh, it's called Last Kiss because you didn't know it was gonna be your last. That's so sad. Literally, I don't think another song, even All Too Well, like this song brings out the most emotion from me reaction-wise. Like I fall asleep to this song. If I want to be sad, this is the song I listen to. If I'm driving at night and I just want to be in the fields, I listen to this song. Every year on July 9th, we have our Last Kiss Day. I just feel like this song deserves so much more hype because I feel like All Too Well kind of steals all of the hype, you know? That might be a controversial statement for sure, but anyways, I definitely wouldn't scream this song in my car, but I would definitely cry to it. That is gonna be it for this video. I feel like I've been talking for so long. Please leave your thoughts down below. Let's have a conversation about these bridges. Let's just all appreciate the wonderful writer and musician that Taylor Swift is. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. And if you want to see more like fun kind of Taylor Swift content, let me know because I could talk about Taylor Swift forever and ever and ever. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your post notifications. I post every Tuesday and Friday, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.